Now, Downing Street says the government will launch a formal consultation this summer over the controversial plans to limit the tax relief available on charitable donations. It says that there are various options on the table and that ministers want to get the balance right. The planned cap has been criticised by charities and others, but ministers say that the current system has been abused by some wealthy individuals to cut their tax bills, in some cases, to zero. Well, Huw Spedding is with us, who's Director of Arts and Business. That's the charity which promotes links between business and the arts. He also has a role in advising the Treasury on some of its policy, and I think you're on the Charity Tax Group Committee as well.
Yes.
So, lots of hats to wear,
yes.
Philip. So, but basically, I think you're just the man to tell us where you think the balance of this argument is. When they say they'll consult more widely, is that a hint that they're just going to change the policy now?
Well, it was originally in the budget statement that they would hold some consultation to work out the best way forward in this measure. And certainly, I think the entire charity sector would be delighted to help the Treasury in their thinking on this. We need to make sure it's right. Ultimately, a philanthropy decision is one you make with your heart, not with your accountant. And it's very important, therefore, that the tax messages given by the government are encouraging and supporting the decisions of philanthropists.
Is it fair to say that some very wealthy people have been giving lots of money to charity, that's been doing lots of good work, but that they've been doing it maybe for other reasons too, notably to get their tax bill down? Is that credible in your view?
I think that an astute philanthropist would look at the tax advantages of giving, but they're never going to give because of the tax advantage. They're going to give because they care passionately about the cause and about what their money will achieve by giving it to the right sort of charity.
So really, the line that, you know, they're just doing it to save tax, you think is rather offensive?
Oh, and indeed, the Treasury's own research, when they were looking at a different element of charity and tax, showed that tax is not the key reason why someone gives. It is the tax may shape how they give, and it may indeed shape how much they give, but it's very rare for anyone to give just for the tax break.
What would you suggest as a way out of this? This consultation will now go ahead. As you say, it was in the budget. It's now going to take place. Lots of people are seeing this as a signal that ministers will step away from this particular direction and offer something else. What would be a good solution for you?
I think there are various things we need. First of all, we need the government to encourage large donations. We need the government to send out a clear message that that is a good thing to do. Likewise, I would love to see the government enshrine the principle that if you give money for the greater good, for the public benefit, that shouldn't attract tax. If there is an issue in terms of bogus charities, there are already pieces of legislation to help resolve that. The whole bogus charities abroad was an issue that was brought up when the EU changed the law to allow tax-efficient giving cross borders. So the government came up with something called the fit and proper person test to ensure that any charity in the UK or abroad was doing good for the public benefit. If that legislation isn't working, fix it. But the most important message is the clear message that giving to charity is a good thing.
Does that mean this cap needs to go?
Certainly, I think the cap is, in the way it's currently described, is not good. And indeed, the way that it implies that actually giving money to charity is not for the better is a problem. I mean, after all, the purpose of tax is to amass our collective wealth to achieve public benefit, to pay for the hospitals, to pay for the schools. By its very nature, giving to a charity is achieving the same result. Giving to a charity is for the public benefit. And I would love to see them take that form of expenditure out of what the individual is then charged on tax.
We shall see, and we'll have you back to talk about the conclusion. But, Philip, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Huw Spedding, there for us, talking about the likely ideas that will come out at the end of the consultation process there.